good morning, and welcome once again to the 34th annual running of the Rocky Mountain ATV/MC AMA Amateur National Motocross Championship presented by AMSOIL here at Loretta Lynn as we continue our race coverage here on a Friday, and third motos have begun, and we have begun crowning champions as we open up today's broadcast with race number 4 on the race docket, the 85 9-11 limited class, where Jaden Clow, the number 14 out of Elko, Minnesota, just grabbed the whole shot here in Moto 3, and what a day of redemption for him as he goes 36-18 in Moto 1 and 2. Maybe he's going to be able to redeem himself out here in Moto 3. As we set the stage for this moto, the 85 9-11 class, Jet Reynolds comes in with a 1-1 score. Caden Braswell sits second with a 5-2, and Luke Calatsian with a 6-3. Currently sits third place in the championship point race as far as the overall and the national title is concerned. Rodney tumbling along here with Kevin Kelly, also Wes Kane, Jason Wygant, Megawatt Matt Watson, and we will also be hearing from Sean Hackley as well as Fred Andrews, former great motocross and off-road GNCC star himself. And I'll tell you what, Kevin Kelly, here we are already with race 4, the 85 9-11 limited class. As we pointed out already, Jaden Clow has kind of redeemed himself, at least in the early part of this third moto, from those first 2 moto finishes. But boy, I'll tell you, behind him, Jet Reynolds, who has really been laying down the laps here so far this week, is got him close in tow, I can guarantee you.
Jet Reynolds comes to you with perfect moto scores so far. He's got a pair of 1s going into this. That's right, folks, you're watching at home on RacerTV. It's championship crowning day. We've already crowned 3 championships earlier in the morning, and now Jet Reynolds wants his share. And right now, Luke Calatsian in the way of the sweep. They got the broom out over there in Bakersfield ready to sweep with a pair of 1s going into this third and final moto. And Luke is not making it easy for Jet Reynolds. You're watching back 85 9-11, and there goes Jet. He's getting close, Rodney.
Out the back door, down the long short chutes under the Red Bull turnstile, as we like to call it here. It is Jet Reynolds close in tow on Calatsian, and here comes Reynolds to the inside. To the outside goes Luke, but whoa, look at that, still in the line.
Got him back.
Yeah. Side by side now through the GoPro 10 Commandments, and will Reynolds be able to establish the lead here? Yes, he does, as it looks like Luke's going to follow him into the into the Storyland now.
And they do work their way into Storyland, the furthest point from our vantage here in the announcer's tower. And the great shots here by RacerTV, getting all the great shots, and that pass being put together by the number 79 of Jet Reynolds. He's now out front of Luke Calatsian. Jaden Clow is third, Hunter Frost fourth, Caden Braswell fifth, Travis Hodnett sixth, Gage Steberg is seventh, Orson Godley eighth, Matthew Curler is ninth, and Hunter Layton rounds out your top 10 early portion of the race. And look at that. If you want to even talk about the championship, well, it's easy to do the math there. 1-1-1 now for Jet Reynolds. Tough to beat that one.
It is, and it gets a little more confusing whenever you get back behind there a little bit, Kevin. As you look at the second, third, and fourth, fifth place overalls, second place, with if it finishes the way it does right now, 6-3-2 for Luke Calatsian, you would see him in second place with a 6-3-2. Caden Braswell would score 5-2-5 and still score well enough for an overall third. That goes to show you that though Jet Reynolds has been very consistent in this 85 9-11 limited class, there's been a little inconsistency behind him.
Look behind him here. We'll look down into like the 6th place overall currently. 16, 10, 10 moto scores will get you a 6th place overall. That means everybody's just topsy-turvy early on, and we expect some passes to be made as we work our way through this moto.
Patrick Murphy, who finished 4th in Moto 1, went 39-12, so you can see that happens. 5th place is Caden Braswell in that first moto. So those first motos, I mean, I don't think the 3rd place finisher for Moto 1 in the overall results right now. We can only see the top 21. So like we said, a lot of inconsistency behind Jet Reynolds right now.
Who is the most consistent rider on the week. Jet has yet to lose a moto, am I correct?
I don't think I've seen him lose one yet. So
he's been perfect in this one. He's got a pair of 1s going into this third moto, so perfect in this one at a young age in a class that's full of inconsistency.
Hey, folks, we have some packages over at the office. We need Ryan Miller, Randy Allen, FCC Motorsports. You need to report to the MX Sports Racetrack office. We have packages in the office for you over there. Jet Reynolds here on lap number 3, continuing to hold the line there. It's Galatzi and feeling pressure from Hunter Cross, the 71 machine in this one, and that Yamaha rider we see coming out of the Suzuki Storyland now may have made up a little bit of time out there.
Absolutely. As the shot shows you just how rough and tumble this motocross racetrack is, Rodney. See those ruts? We've only had 4 races run through this racetrack, and the track just immediately succumbs to the tires.
I think they dropped the gate on the first moto, and all of a sudden the track just just gets rough all of a sudden. It's the drop of the gate that shakes the dirt here at Loretta Lynn's. That's how hard it hits the ground. Reynolds, Galatzi, and Hunter Cross, Jaden Clough, Caden Braswell, your top 5 here in the 3rd moto. Gage DeBerg is 6th. Travis Hodnett is 7th place. Carson Godley in 8th. Hunter Layton in 9th. Patrick Murphy rounds out your top 10. And again, a lot of wild and crazy scores. 7-4-13 scores 4th overall right now as we're looking at the scores. That's the tallies. Look at this. Overall, Jet Reynolds, if he finishes the way he does, a 3. And he's got a big bit of breathing room there because it's 9 points for 2nd place with that 5.22 right now. 13 points for 3rd place in Luke Galatzian. 24 points for 4th place. 25 points for 5th place.
A top 10, 10th place for Tyler Nicholson. 45 points.
Look at this. A 26-19 scores 45 points and 9th place actually overall. Hey, all right. Saying hello to the fans watching along in West Palm Beach or West Palm, LA. So glad to have you out there, and you roll well, Wes Canes. All I got to say. It is. And Jet Reynolds got the power on the racetrack right now. Not a whole lot really going on. As you look at the deficits here, we see Hunter Cross seems to be the rider on the move on the number 71 machine. He got around Galatzian for that number 4 spot. Now Cross is less than a second behind Caden Braswell, who is in the number 2 spot. Cross did turn a 2:17.7 last time around, though, and Braswell a 2:15.6. I'm going to have to say I think Braswell actually made the pass on Cross that time now, but I think about it a little closer. So Braswell really putting down some good lap times. A 2:21 for Galatzian. He slowed down a little bit. Jaden Clough, who got the whole shot, a 2:24 on that lap around. But again, redemption for him after those first 2 motos, grabbing that whole shot.
Rodney, the cream's starting to rise to the top. This championship picture continues to change now. Crockett Meyer has found himself inside the top 10. He's up to 6th place overall. And Tommy Leclerc just in front of him championship-wise, along with Galatzian, Braswell, and Jet Reynolds.
Wow, did you expect to see this kind of topsy-turviness? I guess inconsistencies in the 85s. You know, normally, generally, the top 4 or 5, we have a real good consistent battle coming out of those in these classes normally. But again, this hasn't been your traditional week at Loretta Lynn's, I don't believe.
Not in this class for sure. The 85 9-11, very inconsistent. But then you got the picture of consistency, Jet Reynolds with 1s across the board. So
yeah,
he's like, yeah, well, you know what? I'm consistent. I'm consistently going to beat you.
And I know we made all the cliches that could be made earlier in the week, but hands down, Jet Reynolds is certainly proving to be a true force here in 2015, you know, and he's just continuing to build on successes that he's had in years past. And I think it not only builds on those successes, but it also sets the stage for quite possibly what the future can hold as far as the amateur national championships for Jet Reynolds, you know.
Yeah, you remember he's riding up a class. He
yeah,
is still eligible to be on the 65. He played around with the 85 earlier at the Spring Nationals, liked it so much, they went full time to the 85, and it's proven to pay off in dividends. So he is telling you that all that investment, all the money and hard work you put into my program, Kawasaki, I'm going to repay the debt.
You know, it's been a while since we've seen a true prodigy make their way through Loretta Lynn's here in the amateur level. We've seen a lot of good talent making their way out, but I mean, really a long time since a true prodigy.
Yeah, we picked him up. I mean, he's won, and we've done the research. He's one of the few kids that have won a title This will be his 3rd straight year of 2 titles in a row. A 50 title, 2 of them. A 65 title, 2 of them. Now he's working on a perfect week here on the 85. That has not happened before. James Stewart has not done it. Ricky Carmichael has not done it. Wyndham, Rayner, none of those kids, Alessi, have done what this young man's doing. You're right, he is a prodigy.
And just exactly what I was getting ready to say. Every name you mentioned were prodigies that came from right here at the ranch. So can we say that Jet Reynolds is the next prodigy that we may see?
Well, he keeps writing the script for him. I mean, he's saying it himself with the moto and race wins.
I think you're absolutely right with that, Kevin Kelly. So Reynolds on his way in the carving laps into history here at Loretta Lynn's, literally making himself stand out from the rest of the champions here with those 2 wins each year like that. So impressive to say the least. And if he can continue that stellar performance here in 2015, it will be hands down without a question that he is prodigy material. Braswell still back in the number 2 spot. Cross in 3rd. Galadzian in 4th. Jaden Clough rounding out the top 5. Hunter Layton in 6th. Carson Godley is 7th. Brandon Ray in 8th. Tommy Leclerc the 4th and 9th. Travis Hodnett now rounds out your top 10. If we were to look at the overall now, if things were to finish the way that we see them now, it would be Reynolds, Braswell, Galadzian 1, 2, and 3. Austin Kuba Crandis would be your 4th place position. Tommy Leclerc with a 9.59 would be 5th overall. Crockett Myers 10.912 would be 6th overall. Hunter Layton 16.10.6 would be 7th overall. Hunter Cross 27.73 would be 8th overall. Tyler Nicholson 26.15 would then be 9th overall. And Lane Allison 11, 8, and 31. Yeah, you heard me right. 31 would score you well enough to be 10th place overall.
That's crazy. And I'll tell you what, Caden Braswell is doing a great job keeping Jet Reynolds within sight. He's only 3.6 seconds back. So there's Caden. You're looking at him with the hand guards on the bike. He can see Jet right in front of him. He's like, I don't care about your records. I don't care you're having a perfect week. It's like the guy that breaks up the no-hitter. He wants to be the guy to get in between and win a moto and take that perfect streak away from Jet Reynolds. Won't change the overall picture for the championship, but it'll sure enough make that drive back home for Caden Braswell a little bit
and
sweet.
he will have the bragging rights of being the person that was able to stop such a role that a rider is on. So we'll watch to see if that be the case or not. But Caden Braswell, I think, is probably given the most competition so far this week to the number 79 of Jet Reynolds. Lap times right now pretty consistent for both Reynolds and Braswell. Reynolds a 2:16.6 last time around with a 2:16.7 for Braswell. Then we had fastest laps at 2:16.157 was Jet Reynolds on lap 4 just a lap or so ago. But look at this, lap 3 at 2:15.6 for Caden Braswell. He's actually a little bit faster on the fastest lap.
Yeah, he's coming right there in front of the announcer's tower. You can pick him up. RacerTV getting the shot. That's Caden Braswell going away from us here. Changed that section up a little bit. Used to be a 6-pack after that tunnel jump. There goes Braswell down to that really rough. That picture doesn't show you just how rough and how deep those ruts are. That entire straightaway will be a sea of ruts. One long rut, you just get in and go for about 150 feet. Look over to your right if you dare take your eyes off the racetrack to see what your mechanic's writing on the pit board.
I have had so many people tell me that they do not even take their eyes off the racetrack. They don't even know the mechanics area is there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a straightaway, and the ruts are literally the entire length of the straightaway. If you look over to your right to see what your mechanic's writing, you're going to have to crash and to see what he wrote. There's Jet Reynolds coming through those 10 commandments there, Rodney. Having a little bit of a problem there. Wasn't able to double through them. And yes, there are 10 jumps. And there is Reynolds on the Kawasaki going around one of the last riders. And that may cost him some time. It was 4.2 seconds he was out front of Caden Braswell. And Braswell might be sneaking into the shot here if we widen that shot out here. There's Jet, the number 79 out of Bakersfield, California, home of some of the loneliest, freshest, cheesiest dirt they got in America, right? That's why he rides his stuff so good, right?
Exactly.
I'm being facetious. That is hard-packed desert. The high desert is where that kid lives in. He can just ride a dirt bike. That's just bottom line.
That's all he likes to do is ride his dirt bike. But Caden Braswell did come into that shot. Last time around, Reynolds was just a fraction faster, so the gap is still right about that 4-second or so mark between first and second, but I'm thinking that, like you said, coming through the Ten Commandments, Jet might have lost a little bit of time, but at the same time, I think he might be picking it right back up.
Yeah, and he's having to work his way through the lap riders, so when you're the first guy to come through them, you generally surprise them, and by the time the second and third place guys come through, it's a little bit easier for them. They've kind of moved out of the way. But Jet Reynolds, he's got that Hubert's Lemonade sponsorship back home there on his Kawasaki. You can see the big yellow, look at that, wheelies out of the rut there. Jet with 2 T's showing you the fast way around. We're 6 laps into this thing. He'll elect not to jump that big triple tabletop, whatever you want to call it, and I think it serves him well.
Yeah, that's one thing we haven't been able to figure out, whether that's
it's really a camelback. It goes up and flat, and then it's got the middle piece and goes back down. So
yeah,
you call it what you want.
I just call it the jump just past the finish line. That's what I'm
That's the safest bet. There you go. Jet goes past the mechanics area there. He's up in the trees there. We changed that section of the racetrack about 4 or 5 years ago, and I think it's been a hit the way it works out. It's so even. Me and Megawatt were talking about just how even this racetrack is from the inside to the outside. You can race side by side. We saw it in Pierce Brown and Carson Mumford. They raced from right here at the announce deck all the way back to Storyland. That was almost 1 full minute of side by side racing.
That was what we like to see here at Loretta Lynn. Also, anytime you go to a racetrack, that's the kind of racing you want to see, and to be afforded that.
I mean, that's a bomb went off in that turn. It is so rough. And those of you watching at home, and everybody always says, you know, that track doesn't look that rough. We've kind of gone on and on about it, but every pro rider we've had up here all have spoke about how rough this racetrack. Will Hahn says this place looks like a pro national track. Filthy Phil, dirty, nasty, gross Phil Nicoletti, he said this place is rough and nasty.
I interviewed a couple of guys on the podium there late day yesterday, and to me, I guess maybe I've gotten used to it visually, looking up here and says, well, it looks like the track is smoothed out a little bit, and their eyes got real big. I said, no, man, it ain't any smoother. I promise you, it's not any smoother.
You go to your home track, and they run 5 motos. The 5th moto, you can still see loader marks on some of the edges of the track. Dude, this place is completely thrashed, and they leave the racetrack like that. And I think they do it for a reason, to slow them down. It's made a safe racetrack.
Oh, yeah.
The injuries have been very minimal. I mean, you know, with this number of riders, are going to have certain guys are going to get hurt. But wow, what a great racetrack. It's challenging. It's been hot. It's been everything that Loretta Lynn's is supposed to be.
It has, but I will say one thing. The last couple of days have really been pretty comfortable. At least yesterday it was really comfortable. We saw temperatures between 85 and 90 with a lot less humidity. And this morning, man, when I woke
a little bit of a breeze. Man, if you got a breeze down here, it's awesome.
Yeah.
If there's no breeze, it is like a wet St. Bernard is laying on top of you. It's miserable.
Yeah, and the humidity is a lot lower again today, so hopefully it will remain that way, and these riders will have the opportunity to race basically all the elements as far as this championship is concerned. A little bit of mud there on Wednesday, the heat that came along with that, and then back to the more normal type conditions. So yeah, I mean, this week we've been able to order it all up for everybody, and I think this is how we get our best champions won here, championship.
Well, one of the few kids that are capable, and I'm seeing Jet Reynolds kicks his right foot off of the bike quite often, so pay attention to that. Sometimes he doesn't lift it up, he actually picks it up and over, and I've seen him do that a few times. I'm not sure what he's doing there, maybe finding the brake or something. That's interesting as we watch the number 79 look over his shoulder there, and they'll go back home, look at that tape, and he'll probably have to do 1,000 push-ups for looking over his shoulder. I'm just making that up. My dad said, boy, I'm going to put a mirror on that bike if you keep doing that. Stop looking back is what my dad would tell me. But there he is, the number 79. We're watching you here on RacerTV. And Jet Reynolds working, one of the first guys that we've seen working on a perfect week so far, Rodney Toblin.
Yeah, once he makes it through this race tech last lap, there's a good chance that he will be one of the few that is able to sweep it. We saw Ricky Renner do it in the Junior 25 Plus class a little bit ago as he took the second consecutive championship there in that class, and he did it against Sebastian Tortelli, who says he's coming back next year to try it again.
Wow, I love that, man. I love to see the fire in Tortelli. I'd love to see Emmett come back. And we had Chad Reed on DMXS Radio, and he says I want to come to that thing. He is talking about bringing Tate, his son, to come race down here. So all the riders, they want to do it. Will Hahn can't wait to get back here. Said he hadn't been back in about 7 years. And that seems to be the prevailing thing. They all want to come back and race this thing.
It's amazing, you know, you work so hard to reach that level. Once you reach that level, how special all of a sudden this race becomes, you know.
Exactly.
As an amateur, it may have been your most dreaded place to go in July and August. But
there it is.
There it is. Checkers are out. This ain't a dreaded place for Jet Reynolds. No stretch of the imagination for him. Get the broom out, folks. Sweep it, as he just did that in the 85 9-11 limited class. He's going to take that bike up to the box.
That's a wrap, folks. You're right. That's a Reynolds wrap.
We were waiting till the very end, Jason Hooper. That's what it was. So Jet Reynolds wrapped it up. And I think that right there was probably the heavy-duty foil he used to wrap that up with. That's for
Absolutely. Sure. Caden Braswell, second place in the Moto, second place overall. And Luke Kalitsian makes it easy for Wes Kane. The top three, the same in the Moto as in the overall championship. Reynolds, Braswell, Kalitsian, 1, 2, 3. And let's see how Wes pronounces that name, Luke Kalitsian. We'll see what Wes comes up with. He usually has his own version of your name. He goes, hey, that's how I want to say it. I'll say your name how I want to say it. Now change it.
Hey, congratulations to Jaden Clough for turning things around here in Moto 3 after the tough things happening there in Moto 1. He got the whole shot also. Finished up fourth here. Hunter Cross will take the number 5 position. Brandon Ray in 6th aboard the 19. The 99, Hunter Layton in 7th. Tommy LeClaire, the 54, is 8th. Crockett Myers, the 41, in 9th. And Tyler Nicholson rounding out the top 10 on board the number 13 machine as we check out the CoolVest.com podium presentations getting ready to come up here. It's actually coolerthanYou.us podium presentations, but the folks at Cool Vest are the ones that we're talking about there. And we got Wes Kane down there. He looks pretty pumped and excited to get to interview our top 3 in the 85 9-11, as he knows as well as everyone, man, these are special moments for these kids, and to get to share in these moments with these families like this, you know, are special times, because, you know, they go home, they look back on these moments, they've got photos that they reflect upon, and, you know, that's Wes Kane, or that's Kevin Kelly, or that's Jason Wygant, or whoever it is that's interviewing them on the podium, and you get to become a special part of that moment. Wes Kane, I know that special thing is getting ready to happen, and you're as excited as they are.
All right, third place up here is going to finish third in this race, 85 9-11 limited. Give it up for Luke Kalachian. Come on up here, Luke. Come up here in front. Come on over this way. Great job, Luke. Tell me about your race.
Yeah, I got off to a good start, and I was in the lead, and I got past, dropped back to 4th, and somebody crashed, and I got back to 3rd, and I'm here now.
You got to be stoked about winning a medal down here at the ranch, and you're riding pretty good for the overall in top 5. Tell us how that makes you feel.
Yeah, it's so awesome. I'd like to thank Thousand Oaks Power Sports, O'Neill, Forma Boots, X-Brand, Dunlop, Nihilo, Boyson, Twin Air, and everybody else.
Congratulations out, guys. Finished third. It's Luke Kalachian. Thank you very much. Finishing second for the silver, let's have Caden Braswell up here. Caden Braswell, congratulations. Great job out there. How's it feel to get a medal down here?
Feels pretty good.
Tell us about it.
I got an okay start and then just charged my way up.
Who do you want to thank?
Jesus Christ, Mom and Dad, WMR, ODI, Fly, DT1, Dragon, Dunlop, FMF, Husky, South of the Border, Nihilo, Dunlop, and anybody else I forgot. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, job well done. Put your hands together for Caden Braswell. And now, our Bell Helmets Whole Shot a winner, Jaden Clough. Come on up here. Jaden, congratulations. Hold that up. Come up here, front and center. Jaden Clough, ladies and gentlemen, with the Bell Helmets Whole Shot Award. Tell me about your start.
My dad packed me a great gate, and I got off to a good jump, and then just held it onto the corner and got the whole shot.
Who do you want to thank for that whole shot from an award from Bell Helmets?
Limited Motorsports, Bell, Power Band, Vertex Pistons, Power Band, Racing Suspension, Kawasaki Team Green, and everyone else I forgot.
Congratulations out there, guys. Give it up for Jaden Clow and his Bell Helmets Whole Shot Award. All right. Good. That's yours. And I'll take this. And now, ladies and gentlemen, he hails from Bakersfield, California, aboard the 79 Team Green machine with a perfect score, a 1-1-1. Give it up for Jet Reynolds. Kip Bigelow with the #1 plate.
Hey, buddy.
Congratulations, Jet Reynolds, ladies and gentlemen. Jet Reynolds, a perfect score. Tell us about your race and tell how it feels to win another championship down here at the Rand.
You know, it feels great. I've been working so hard and got my starts down and worked my way up to the pack and took the win.
You're working on a perfect score down here 3 years in a row, 2 championships each year. Do you have any idea what impact that has on the records here?
I think I have 5 now.
One more race, and then you'll knock down 2. Tell us who's helping you out.
Kawasaki Team Green, Oakley Goggles, Hubert Lemonade, Rentoff, Y Racing, Pro Circuit, Ride Dunlop Tires, AmeriCorps SMX, SOB, InStyle, GT1 Air Filters, Mom and Dad, everybody else stinks.
Congratulations out there, guys. Jet Reynolds, we're going to give you the champagne for the celebration. I'll get out of the way. Ryan Holiday, you might want to help him out up there a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, Jet Reynolds, your 85 9-11 limited champion.
That's right, your national champion at that. Congratulations, Jet, and keep up the good work, buddy. It's been a lot of fun watching your race so far. Rodney Tomlin here in the towers. We're joined by Andy over at GoPro. Andy, welcome back to the tower, and we were just talking off mic there just a moment ago. It seems like yesterday you were coming in talking about the first day of giveaways that you had, and you were coming back saying, we just gave away 2 GoPro cameras, and wow, now that we are here on a Friday, you've done it every night this week. You guys have been down there helping people, informing them of the GoPro. You have also not only been informing them of the GoPro, but you have been showing them how to work the GoPro and giving GoPros away.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even tell how many cameras I've given away this week. It's been crazy. We do it every day. Someday we do 2. You know, it depends on how we're feeling.
Well, that's awesome. I know that a lot of people are getting a lot of benefits and uses out of them. And what's really great is we want folks, if you haven't stopped by, to check out